Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's Jordan here. I probably shouldn't, but I probably will end up at the Lego store today. It's pab wall shipment day, and I've been using a lot of the parts that I've been finding on the pab wall for this skyscraper project. And I'm getting pretty passionate about this skyscraper project. I want to build a block of skyscrapers, but a lot of the parts that I used in those models over there actually came from the pab wall. Specifically the nougat chunk on the top there, like the masonry bricks, the brackets, the 1x2s, the arches, the trans blue 1x2 bricks, the tiles. A lot of it came from the pab wall, even the 8x8 plates in the interior of it. But I did double stack the floors, so there's only one floor per two floors, if you know what I mean. That's why this looks a bit chunky here. It's like one brick almost. So I probably need to change that. But today I want to continue working on the skyscraper project. And what I want to do is actually build the ground floor for the nougat and black building, and maybe the ground floor for the white and black building, because these aren't going to be one building, right? I've got to split them up. And in order to do that, I just need more parts. And I'm hoping the pab wall is going to have that. So today we're going to be doing some Lego shopping, and we're going to continue developing these skyscrapers in the Lego city. Pretty exciting stuff. I have been so focused on the Lego city lately, like adding bicycle lanes and developing the amusement park, which only needs minifigures. Why don't I add minifigures today? Okay, I promise within the next week we will add minifigures to the amusement park and get that going. And I promise within a week as well, I'll probably I will replace some of the batteries in my train so we can have the train zooming around, because that thing's been out of batteries for like a month and I just haven't gotten around to changing the batteries. How ridiculous is that? I was thinking about the diorama table as well. I'm still looking at it. I was just thinking about it. I just figured I'd let you know. And then I've got a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be built, and I've got more upstairs as well. But I've been so focused on like the city, I was like, haven't even built some of these awesome Marvel sets. But I've just been focusing on this. I don't know what it is, but I know what it is. It's an awesome Lego city that I enjoy building. That's what it is. Okay, but yeah, I'm hoping to develop the Lego city skyscraper block. How good does that look right there with the Daily Bugle, the Ghostbusters HQ, the construction site, the town hall, the new skyscrapers, the Avengers Tower. I think if you get it from the right angle, like right there, you can see the Disney Castle in the background. How cool is that? So I'm starting with the ground floor for the nougat and black skyscraper. This is what I've got done so far. I have to use the large tan arch because I don't have any other arches in nougat. Like literally no other arches in nougat. Actually, there's one. It's not the large ones, but it is one of these. Where did it go? Thought it was in there. I guess not. Oh, here it is. Yeah, one of those. That's all I've got. So yeah, I'm gonna change it up, but I think the tan is actually a nice accent color. That's the mall that the Lego store's in, and I've got my tote bag full of cups. So I need more of these. I'm gonna put some of those in a cup. There's the arches in light gray, some circular yellow bricks. I like these pieces. I've yet to use mine. Got some tan 1x1s up top here, some 1x5s in nougat. That's a good find. Also the 4x6 dark gray plates, some lens in like a lavender color. They also have them in the dark green color. And then there's some of the head pieces there for lamps. 2x2 tan brick up there. These rock panels are pretty sweet. I don't think I really need any. The main thing I needed to get was the trans blue 1x2s. I see trans red, but there's no trans blue on the wall. There are some of these leaf elements as well. These bricks are nice. Maybe I should get some more of these bricks, because if I'm going to do that elevation that I was talking about, I'll probably need those. Those have been on the wall for quite some time, and I do have quite a few in my inventory, so I'm not really too stressed about that. But I came here for stuff for that skyscraper. Luckily they had the nougat arches. They're over here, but other than that, no nougat masonry, and no 8x8 light gray plate, and no trans blue 1x2s, which was the primary need today, unfortunately. So sort of lucky, but not really today at the pab wall. And it looks like this store's out of promos. You know, I just came so prepared, and all I got was 3 cups. Hey kids, the Lego store Did not have the parts that I was looking for. Millie, they didn't have the parts that we were looking for, Benjamin. What the heck? What are we gonna do? So Millie, Benjamin, and I have come up with a solution. We're actually going to reduce the depth of the building because this one here is a perfect square. So I'm actually going to reduce it by 1/8, I guess a quarter depth. I'm going to remove one set of windows on each side. So it's going to save 1/8 of the parts. You do the math. I'm not sure what the percentage is, but if I remove the 2 glass panels there, the 1 stack of masonry, and also the 1 arch from like the whole building, it's going to save me a bunch of parts. And this will be like the new depth of it. And I think that works. I think it actually looks better because it's no longer like a perfect square. It's a rectangle. And what this is going to do is give us more space up front here. So it's 6 studs in, which matches modular building standard, and also 6 studs back here. So when it's up against another skyscraper, there's going to be more room between the buildings. So we're going to be able to create like a detailed alley effect maybe. Might be pretty neat. So I'm excited to rebuild this one on the new structure. All right, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this choice, but like I was mentioning earlier, there are no floors in this building. You can't really tell when you look from the outside, and there's not going to be an interior either. It's just literally like a shell. Pretty neat though. I've got it fully constructed and I was able to add 1 more floor. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors. But look at the window glass in the back. It's the 1x2x5 glass panels and also the 1x2x2 glass panels. Eventually when I get more, I'll be able to just like surgery those out and replace them with the actual glass panels. I didn't really want to put those on the bottom because then it would be a crazy surgery to get those out, because I've still got to build a roof, and I've got a really good idea for the roof. Yeah, I think it's going to really cap this building off quite nicely. I've realized that I've made a mistake though. So when I tile off the sidewalk and whatever I do down here, the tiles are going to go right up against these masonry bricks, and therefore they're going to like bury the masonry bricks by 1 tile. What I should have done is probably laid plates on the bottom so that it raises up the building 1 plate, so then when the tiles go in front, they don't really block the masonry design. Yeah, so what I got to do is flip this thing upside down. Even though it said I don't want to do surgery to the bottom floor, I'm going to have to do it anyway. So I'm going to flip it upside down, extract the plate, probably remove these big 16x16 plates, and then try to get my 1 layer of plate on the bottom here just to free that up. But you can see I added a nice little door handle there using some of those arrow pieces and some black connectors. And then I really like that tan arch. And then I just topped that tan arch with some nougat ingots, and the design around is just like consistent. I think it looks good. Can't wait to place it in the city and compare it to some other buildings, but I can't do that until I finish building it and finish performing this very hectic surgical procedure. All right, here we go. Not too bad at all. At least it's just the bottom floor that'll have to be pretty much rebuilt, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. There we go. The surgery is almost complete. So now it's roof time, and I've got to ask myself a question. And that question is, replicate or destroy? I'm taking a look at the Sanctum Sanctorum mock, and I really like the roof of it. I've been talking about removing this from the Lego City or repurposing it into like a comic book or record store, and I don't know what to do. Replicate or destroy? I really like the roof, right? I think it looks sweet, and I think it looks sweet on this building. Now, of course, I don't want to keep this window glass here because that's the Sanctum Sanctorum window glass, but it actually works out perfectly if I remove that there, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 studs. If I reduce it to a 4 stud panel like this here, that reduces the roof by 6 studs, which is the exact size. So the math works out perfectly, and I either A, replicate, or B, destroy. I might have to lean toward destroy, because in order to do this, I would need windows like this. But I don't need 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. Well, I guess the bottom ones are taller. But I need 16 of those windows, because what I want to do is actually have this slight angle on the back side as well, just because I think that would look really good from the back side. See how it would just be sort of like a big flat back? Not really a huge fan of that, because then when you look at skyscrapers, they come up over the skyline of the city, right? So having a big flat back on there, probably not the best. So I've got to come up with a decision here just based on the parts that I have. This roof is so cool though, like the way that these are like hinged like that. And I really just want to sort of copy it and put it on top of this wicked cool skyscraper. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you what I got in those 3 pap cups. So there was a part that I didn't feature on the wall, and that part is lavender masonry brick. So I managed to get 1 center of those. I didn't go too heavy just because I don't know what I'm going to do with lavender masonry, but maybe like 1 custom building in the Lego City built using this would look cool. Or maybe in the amusement park too. So I decided to get like 1 cup of lavender masonry. Well, not really 1 cup, but 1 tower. Nothing too crazy. There was just like 1 box of it there. A lot of people were excited about it. Other than that, right here we got more leaves and also some more arches. So that's good. This one essentially has the same thing. Leaves and arches. There are some gold connectors in there as well. And then this cup here is just more of those modified 1x2 bricks in white. These are just really neat. I think I'll be able to use these in Operation Skyscraper somewhere. It sort of makes sense to have this guy on top of this building because it looks like a huge sanctum sanctorum. But the roof has been deconstructed, modified, and installed. And in fact, I wouldn't have been able to make this roof with the parts in my inventory. Would have had to use the parts from that sanctum. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because it has pretty much the same roof, right? And having 2 buildings like that would have looked, I don't know, just sort of repetitious in the city, I guess. But yeah, the roof can actually be opened up like these right here. Can be hinged upwards. You can see some of the part usage inside. And you got the double stacked windows there, which are topped with 2x3 plates and the cheese slopes. And then the 2 brick tall slopes. And there's just a beam that runs across. It is right there, and it runs across all the way to there, and it is supported by some of the windows inside. And then all of these pieces hinge right off. I did run out of the proper connectors. You can see there's only 1 on that 4x8 plate there. And on the other side over here, you can see that I switched it to light gray just because I ran out of the black modified 1x2 plates with the clip. And I fully tiled off the roof. I thought that was pretty nice. Did like the checkered pattern with the 1x4 black tiles. And then the side of the building switches from nougat to light gray. I just think there'd be too much nougat if I did that in all nougat. But I did decide to add some texture with some of the masonry bricks there. And I think the structure looks pretty good. It is quite tall now. So you got all of those floors plus the roof, which added pretty much another floor. I didn't make it modular. This roof is tacked down there like with full studs all the way across. Could peel it off, but there's not really a need to access this building unless I want to truly like deconstruct it and rebuild it with, for example, floors or something like that. But there we go. That is the first skyscraper done and ready to be placed in the Lego City. All right, what about the white and black skyscraper? So originally they thought it was going to be a white skyscraper and a black skyscraper. Then after constructing these floors the other day, stacked them on top of each other and came to the conclusion that, hey, maybe a black and white skyscraper merged together would look pretty cool. So we've got 2 black floors and 2 white floors. And hey, I've got to say, when they're stacked like this, they look pretty good, but they're in need of a ground floor. So while I was building the nougat and black Sanctum Sanctorum looking building, Simon, the soon-to-be civil engineer, was building the ground floor for the white and black skyscraper. It's pretty neat. The interior walls are actually smaller than the structure above, but these pillars come out to like the right depth of the structure above, I guess I'll say. And then it's got some trans blue doors there, some flowers on either side. The pillars are based with the shield tiles, just not mounted in spot there, and it uses some of those fancy bricks that I just found on the pab wall. And that's between the 1x6x5 glass panels. And then also some arches there. It just looks really clean. Real nice. And then in the interior, there's an added detail, which is an elevator. Now, the difference between this building and the nougat and black one is this one actually has floors, so we could potentially add some interior details in the future. It's also fully tiled off in there with the dark tan tiles. There's also some planters on either side of the elevator and elevator shaft. And the door of the elevator was built using some 2x6 white tiles, and the ground floor just looks spectacular. And while we were creating this, guess what? Came up with a new way to stack these floors on top. So you'll notice that on top of the elevator shaft, there is a 4x4 inset there, and this plate on the first black floor is going to line up with that. And that floor is going to get stacked offset. Same with the next white floor, but it's actually in line with the ground floor. The next black floor lines up with the first offset black floor. And the second white floor lines up with the first and ground. So that's as many floors as the parts inventory could handle. The next thing that had to be created was the roof. And of course it matches the colors, black and white. Uses the same black textured bricks. Those are nicely tiled off with 1x4 black tiles. The entire roof is also tiled off with white tiles. There is a skylight that was built using the garage door tracks and the trans blue garage doors, which sort of matches the trans blue doors in the ground floor of the building. And then behind that, there's an HVAC unit as well. It's a little electrical box, and then the fans that are connected with some of the Technic elements there. And of course, that's going to go on top of the building, offset just a touch. Just like that there, so it lines up with the other floors. You know what's really cool about this building is the fact that it actually has interior floors. So we've got the plate work there. If you ever wanted to add an interior, we'd be able to do that. Of course, we'd be able to bring that elevator shaft through the entire building, tile it all off, and then add something cool, maybe like a science center or technology center or something cool, I don't know. It's a pretty neat little building though, like the skylight, fully tiled off roof, the fact that the floors are offset, the different colors, and then also the amazing ground floor too, with like these pillars and the arches. I think it just looks fantastic. And of course we can rotate it and check out just like the dimension of the building. It's so cool the way that it's offset, and the fact that the white floors line up with the ground floor just really makes it pop. I can't wait to see it in the Lego City. Actually, before it's placed in the Lego City, I think there's one alteration that has to be made. Not a huge fan of the HVAC being hidden, so we're actually going to relocate those on the roof. Decided to increase the size of the pipe so we could put the HVAC units on either side of the skylight. Well, they definitely add a lot of height to the Lego City, so now we have those two skyscrapers, the Daily Bugle, the Avengers Tower, and then the one right over there, which is the Sig Fig complex. Looks pretty good, eh? The skyscraper block is coming together, and I can't wait to continue developing it. I just want to make like more skyscrapers. I think that's just a really cool project to take on. And maybe one day we'll add some interior details, and maybe one day we'll add some more skyscrapers with interior details. Who knows, right? But for now, I'm just trying to use a bunch of the parts from my inventory. I know I had to go to the pad wall today to grab some more parts, but just using parts from like the ridiculous amount that I have to create structures like this and add some elevation to the city has been really fun. And I want to add some elevation to like the city in general, but I keep thinking about it, like how to bring the road up and how to raise these up. And it's just, the more and more I think about it, the more and more like complex, or the more I realize how complex that is. Just thinking about, like, if I raise up this street, then I have to raise up this side and that side, and then maybe this whole block, and then what do you do with like the offset heights? It just makes it a little bit difficult because I don't have a whole lot of room in the city to like move around and try new things. But we do have enough room to try building skyscrapers and just sort of add some height to the skyline of the city. Are they going to stay in this exact configuration? Probably not, but I'm really happy with it for now, and I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Farewell.